My favorite civil class would be probably some of the architectural or engineering tech electives I've taken. So there's one class in particular. It's taught by Professor Loring Nyes. It's environmental engineering sustainability, I think is the name of the course. And it's a very global view about the state of climate change and the way engineers can use data and present information. And that was, I think, one of my favorite classes within engineering. And then on the architectural side, learning how air makes a big difference in what we perceive as comfort. And so designing for thermal comfort and designing for adaptive and reactive environments is something that I really found important.
So far, my favorite class has been geomatics, just because I didn't know anything about mapping and surveying coming into that class. And I've learned so much from that. And even in the real world, I see on Purdue's campus construction sites, and I'll see they have their leveling equipment out, and I'm like, oh, that's set up right. And like I see these real world examples of what we're doing in geomatics, and just knowing that I can take an aerial photograph of a building and using an equation find the height of that building without knowing anything else. So it's just things like that. Also, I've met a lot of other civil engineers through this class because it's a smaller class. It's like 70 kids, and then you have a smaller lab section. So you just get to collaborate on labs and work together on labs, and you find out how many cool people are in civil.
My favorite class that I've taken so far at Purdue has been the 361, which is our introduction to transportation engineering. So I want to be a transportation engineer. And that class is taught by Professor Fricker, who has been around Purdue for many years. So he has seen almost all there is to see when it comes to construction and roadway management in the West Lafayette area. So he's super knowledgeable. He wrote our textbook, and the class was structured in a way that it was very example heavy and just very enjoyable. I like every class he would come in with a new example to work on for each chapter. So you were constantly working on what you were learning. Plus all the stuff we learned in that class was so cool, from like pavement design. We had to deal with a bunch of different charts to like we had a project where we literally had to go out and like count people, which I know sounds super boring to everyone I talk to. Even my friends give me a bunch of flack for it all the time, because I was like super excited to go sit in a chair for an hour and count people going up and down an intersection for the city. Like it was actual, like the city of West Lafayette needed this data. So I thought that was super cool, but definitely one of my favorite classes.